Hello and welcome to this video showing you a resource that I made using a tool that we have here at the University of Portsmouth called H5P. I want to show you what it is and why we made it. And then in another video, I'm going to show you how to build one from scratch. So a little bit of backstory first. I was approached by a lecturer to film some videos for his students. And initially they were going to be quite passive experience. But I suggested that we break them down and add interactive elements into them, like questions and links and other bits of information in there. So he agreed, and we went away and we filmed some resources. And then after I'd edited the footage and come back, I put them into this resource. So here it is. It's on a paramedic science course, and the idea is that it's about advanced life support, ALS here. And the students need to work their way through each chapter, watching each segment, and then at the end there's a full run through of the whole process that the student needs to follow. So we've got two here. We've got the adult and the pediatric. I'm going to look at the pediatric one first. And so this is using a tool. So H5P is a suite of different activities. And the one that we're interested in today is called the interactive book. And so it's very nice. You can see that you've got all the chapter titles down the side here, so that the student can kind of work their way through. And then over here, we have the main bulk of the question, the main bulk of the video. I've embedded these videos using a system called Panopto. And the reason I've done that is that it auto-generates captions. So from an accessibility point of view, it's really important that all of our video content has captions so that students who need to read those can do so. And so we make our courses and our content much more inclusive. So that was an important factor to take on board as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you sort of some of the videos and in the interactions within them. And so when you click on one of the chapters, once you've sort of clicked on it, it goes into this black dot, and then all of the unseen chapters, so to speak, still have this white dot. So we'll play a little bit of the video. So this is just the introduction, and what I can do now is I'll move to the next one, and we'll play a little bit of the video. So this is how the rest of the video goes. The lecturer is talking to the camera, but sort of not looking directly at the camera. And then up here, we have our first question. So I'll just skip that forward a little bit. Right, so here we have our first question. The video pauses, so the student does have to pay attention and actively engage with this. I think it's really important that any video content that we do create is interactive and engaging. There's literature to suggest that long videos are not well engaged with, and students generally drop off after the 8-minute mark. So it's really not worth your while recording really big, long-winded videos. So they click on the question, and they have these options, and they can click and they can check. So I've got that one right. I click continue, and the video carries on, and so on and so forth. So they work their way through that one, and then they go to the next one. I'm just going to find one with a slightly different interaction. Okay, so in this one, so you can add other things other than questions in there that also help the student's learning experience. So for example, this is just a text box that I've embedded. So this, again, the video pauses and the student clicks on the box and they read what they need to read. and then they can press play and carry on. And then again, we've got another question. So we can do that. So that's two things. So we've got questions and we've got links. The next thing we can look at is questions and text. The next thing is links. I'm just going to find one with links. So right here. So that now links out to some further reading. So if the student wants to continue their learning, they can go in and read this website as well. And that's really useful for them. So those are the three basic things that you can add: questions, text boxes, and links to further reading. And then once the student works their way through, this is I think the really important bit, is this summary and submit. So they click on here and they can look at their progress through the resource and see what score they got for the questions, how many of the pages they've read, and what interactions they've interacted with. And they can see all of this. And then they'll know that they need to go back through the chapters that they've missed at another time. And I quite like this resource because whilst this particular resource is kind of set up in a chronological type environment, the start where you first enter the room with the casualty to the end, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to interact with it in that way. If students are maybe a little bit weak on their medication management, for example, they could go and look at that bit first if they wanted to, or they can just decide to go through each chapter as it is. So that's the resource, a very quick demo of the resource. In the next video, if you click on the link in the top corner, that will take you to a video that shows you how to build one from scratch. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.